glad you're here, because today's show is going to be a little bit different. I read you guys' emails so I can pick projects that you want to see. One thing that keeps turning up is flame jobs. Well, I don't paint, so I asked a friend of ours to come down and share his skills, and Rick Bacon's got some. Customizing and painting model cars as a kid evolved into a lifestyle for Rick. He eventually opened his own shop, the Body Shop for You in Sonora, California, specializing in custom paint, airbrushing, and pinstriping, with a growing reputation for turning out top-notch, one-of-a-kind paint schemes. But his ability to lay down some crazy flames earned him the nickname the Arsonist. What draws me to his art is not just how realistic they look, but the personality he finds in every car. So he agreed to come to the shop and give somebody a free, realistic flame job. A bunch of fights ensued and I had to settle it. And I couldn't think of anyone more deserving than the guys with Cars for Kids. And if you don't know who they are, you should. Created in 1990, it is one of the largest car shows in the South, raising money for various children's charities throughout the United States. In 16 years, Cars for Kids has raised over $2.5 million, all to benefit children in need. Founder Larry Price made a promise after a traumatic accident almost cost his son his life.
Cars for Kids was started on my son here getting killed when he was 12 years old on a bicycle wreck. When you have an injury that's life-threatening, you'll start praying to the Lord, and I've done some heavy praying. If you let him live, we would do something to help handicapped, abused kids. We're gonna keep doing it till you cover me up. Maybe somebody else will pick it up.
If you ever ask him how he did this, he'll tell you, we all did this. Because he knows it takes more than one man to help children all over the country. One of the biggest attractions Cars for Kids has to offer is heads-up drag racing. Larry brings in some of the meanest professional top fuel drags throughout the country, keeping the crowds coming back year after year. It's all for the kids, and he knows the cars are the stars. And here's their next exhibition racing. It's not done, but it's already destined to be a huge crowd pleaser. This 63 Impala has been shortened 2 feet, chopped 4 inches, and it's powered by a 496 big block, ready to light up those massive slicks. And best of all, it's a perfect canvas for Rick to send it over the top.
A lot of potential, a lot of potential. Right now, I mean, this is a beautiful car as it sits. It's a drag car, but it's just a generic black. What we're gonna do is give this thing a personality. We're gonna make it pop. When it goes down the drag strip, I want people to look at it and go, holy crap, that sucker's on fire. It's gonna be badass. Sometimes a car will pull up and you look at it and just instantly you get a whole scheme that pops into your head. It just matches, it works. This car here, definitely, I got it. It's all up here. I just need to get it down on the car. It's angry. It's a drag car, you know. This thing, it's designed to go fast and look mean. Perfect.
Of course, preparation is very important. The hood, wing, and zoomies all need to be removed. The paint needs to be sanded to smooth it out and prep the clear coat. Since I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to flame, I'll go ahead and prep the whole car.
This is the fun part. Actually, I'm lying like a bitch. This is the part that sucks. Nobody likes this part.
This doesn't look real glamorous, and you're right, it isn't. But you have to get it done and get it done right.
I offered to help. I really did. But like every painter I've ever worked with, they're a solo act. The best thing to do, stay out of their way. So Rick, what do you got in your head for this thing?
Well, I'm going to start right here in the front with it. I'm going to pull the flames out of the grill in here. It's going to look like the engine just exploded and it's on fire. You're going to come out of the front, blow down the hood in here, kind of break apart, maybe put some sparks and some stuff in here, blowing back a couple little spots up here onto the roof, not a lot. And down here on the sides where the zoomies come out, those are the big tubes that come out the side for the exhaust. Flames are going to start here, come up the fender, down onto the door, through the logo, and extend back down here onto the quarter panel. Now in the quarter panel, break it off with a few little sparks and some other little wisp and stuff in the back.
I don't know jack about painting, so what's the first thing we're gonna do here?
Well, Lou, you're never too old to learn how to paint, but from the gray in your beard there, you might be kind of pushing the limits. But the first thing we got to do is get some black base coat down on this thing. And not everyone does that on a paint job like this, but I like to do it for the simple fact that it gives you better surface to work off of.
Now, if you go ahead and skip this step, you may see primer in some areas and your background may not be even under your flames. Now, the first thing we got to do is get that logo down. I'll explain that later. Now I take what's in my head and let my hands lay it down on the car.
There's a lot of black, you know, on the thing. There's some red showing in there, so you don't want to cover up all the black, otherwise you're going to lose your depth of field. And if you put too much fire on a car like this with the red background and the red cage and everything inside of it, you're going to lose a lot of the effect of the flames. So you need to have some of that black in there, so don't overdo it. You don't want to cover the whole car with fire, otherwise the whole thing will be so bright you'll lose the depth.
And that's why Rick is here. More arson after the break. All right, I'm glad you Channel Surfers found us, because right now everything else on TV kind of sucks. So let me tell you what we're doing today, and pay close attention. I don't feel like doing anything. In town, Rick Bacon, a high-end painter from Sonora, California. Jones in a flame, anything. Also in town, Larry Price, founder of the cool charity Cars for Kids. They use outrageous drag racing events as their draw. In his trailer, this blown, shortened, chopped 63 Impala. Rick, in love with this naked canvas. He got a vision, then he got to work. Back to me, struggling to ask an intelligent question. Rick, that thing is awesome, man. You done yet or what? What's going on?
Well, actually, I'm not. A lot of guys would stop at this point and clear it, and it looks good. It really does. But I like to use this as a background graphic. From there, I'm going to put a red candy over the top of it. It's going to take those colors and push them back and give me a good foundation for my brighter colors that I'm going to put on afterwards.
Whoa. Brighter colors. How many you plan on putting on there?
Lou, we got 6 more colors to go, man.
Oh, dude, I'm leaving you alone. Get to work, man.
The red transparent candy starts with 2 different converters we got from Auto Body Color. Then I added some candy concentrate till I got the hue that I wanted. As you can see, it doesn't change the design. It just changes the tone a little bit.
And now what I'm going to do is follow back with the same Molly orange that I used in the first step. The only difference is I'm going to cross my pattern. And what that's going to do is give it a whole nother layer, make it look a whole lot deeper. And pretty much just keep playing with it. This is where the foundation for the highlights begin.
Now for the 4th layer of paint, another transparent candy mixture, this time orange. Now even though the airbrushed foundation was the same color, the red and orange overlays are creating a wide range of shades. Okay, now you remember when I put this logo down on here, it was white. If you're wondering if I'm going to leave it on there, no, I'm not. Vinyl's for your walls, not for your car. I used it as a mask, so the logo will be black, with some flames blowing through them, of course. Okay, we got all of our background colors down on here, and at this point I've used mostly oranges and my deeper reds and orange candies. Gives it a whole lot of depth, and the fire's looking really good. And what I got in my mind is exactly what's coming out on the car. The next step, though, is going to be to come in with some lighter colors. Fire is just, it's its own thing. It's a living, breathing, consuming thing, and it just does whatever it wants to. And so that's why I say it more tells me what it wants to do more than I tell it.
Just when I think he's done, he throws down some candy yellow and adds some toned down white.
It's always a good feeling when you're coming to the end of a project, but it's also kind of sad, especially one like this that you have fun with. Okay, finally, the last color that I do on this thing. Now, I don't do this on all the drops, but once in a while I like to put a little bit of purple pearl on there. Gives it a little bit of extra pop out in the sunlight.
It's been phenomenal watching Rick do his thing. And judging from the clear coat he's laying down, he's done. We'll see the results later in the show. Now, I'm no Ford fanatic, but the '69 Torino Fastback has always wet my whistle, and I believe it's the perfect platform with unlimited potential.
This week's MuscleCar Flashback, the '69 Ford Torino GT.
Torino, 1969. Choose from 6 V8s.
Back in the late 60s and early 70s, you'd buy a Torino if you wanted Ford performance and more room than a Mustang. You could get anything from a weak little 6-cylinder all the way up to a screaming 429. Brian Baker's '69 Torino GT had a 351 Windsor, but a car like that and a high school kid, well, you know what's probably gonna happen. So we found another one just like it, and he spent 10 years making some minor modifications.
My goal was to have one brand new. Since you can't buy a new one, I restored this one to be as close to that as I could, but with some modern conveniences.
First thing he did was stroke that 351 out to 395. Stuck some forged rods, roller rockers, a hot cam, custom aluminum heads, and a 750 Demon, and made it look stock. On the outside, just about everything's original or a real close reproduction, but it's making close to 500 horsepower, and that's almost twice what it had from the factory. You have to get up under it to see if anything looks really different.
Well, I converted it over from a 3-speed automatic to a 4-speed. This is a 3-speed transmission with an overdrive, and it's been updated with heavy-duty bands and clutches and a shift kit and a deep sump aluminum pan. Because I changed to an overdrive transmission, it's longer than my 3-speed was, so I had to have a custom drive shaft made. And to make it look stock, I painted the factory stripes on it that my original drive shaft came with.
This car was a 60-footer when Brian got a hold of it. It looked good from a distance, but up close, man, it was rough. Everything inside is dead stock except for the shoulder belts and some extra gauges. The Shelby wheels were a factory option, and the power to spin them comes through a stock 9-inch rear. Ford called the Torino an intermediate back in '69. Today, it's a big car, 3,400 pounds, 18 feet long. That overdrive lets the engine spin around 1,500 RPMs at highway speed, and you still got plenty of pedal.
Well, you want to camouflage things so that people don't notice you've added things and improved, and for the most part, we've achieved that because 99 out of 100 folks don't really know what's been modified and what hasn't been modified.
Brian says he took the resto-mod approach just to make the car drive better without spoiling the original look. Ford made more than 60,000 fastback Torinos in '69, so it's not like he's destroying anything rare and priceless. The only thing he's tearing up is the road. We've all had cars that we let get away or totaled, but Brian has proven that dreams don't have to die. We're back at the 40 hours of labor, 9 stages of paint, and enough curing time to write a novel. It's time to give it back to Larry.
Looks like it's actually on fire right there.
And the zoomies, that was just too perfect of a place to start.
Look here, if you get looking, look at this little deal right here.
Uh-huh. Well,
You see that?
that's your guardian angel.
Guardian
see,
angel.
yeah, see, that's going to keep you off the guardrails. See, why centering him up so he's looking straight down the center of the lane. See that? Yeah. See that way he knows if you start going off somewhere, he's going to grab you and pull you back straight.
That's
See,
good.
I'm watching out for you, man.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. It's gonna blow a lot of people's minds. I'll tell you. blew mine, you know.
Very cool. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Fun project.
Everybody's gonna enjoy it, I'll tell you. Listen, this is a piece of artwork. I'm gonna let you autograph it, but I ain't gonna let you mess it up.
So what you're telling me is you like it.
I like it. I love it. And
love
the kids are gonna love it.
Now, of course the kids are gonna love it.
You used that end.
Oh, man. Okay. Do I need paint, or is that enough? I'm even gonna put my finger out like those pinstripers do. Concentration at its finest.
Man's going to get a magnifying glass to read that. It's an honor, pleasure, and I think you need a.
While Larry heads to his next event, I decided to show Rick a thing or two. So, you got a kiss, eh?
Yes, I did. Did you?
No, I don't deserve one. You're the one who did all the painting. But I figured I'd show you my mad skills.
I'm pretty impressed, actually.
As you should be.
Wait a minute. That's me!
Spiked hair and all! Rick,
Right on.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate
Very
you coming
welcome.
by and doing that for me. It was awesome.
That was cool.
I think everybody learned something. I even learned something. I really did.
Awesome.
You
Actually,
gonna
so did I. Be careful, because you might get kissed when you don't when you don't expect it.
Rick Bacon, painter first class. Later.